We're standing now on the main floor of the banqueting hall, and I'm looking back towards the gash, which is the way we came in. One of the nicest features in the banqueting hall is the Gothic Arch, which stands high up there in the side wall. You're looking up at the top of the Gothic Arch there at the moment. Unfortunately, it's not very visible, and it hasn't been for a number of years now since we started the excavation process here. We had to install this scaffolding structure in the mouth of the gash because it's the only way we can get the material out of here. All the buckets have to be hauled up via two hoists, gin wheels, up to the surface about 30 feet away through a steel hatch high up above the top of the Gothic Arch there. It's an area that very few people get to see apart from the diggers who have been emptying it, and I'm going to take you up there. There's a ladder that we climb up onto a platform high up in the Gothic Arch, and from there there's a second hoist that goes up to the surface, and I'm just going to show you what it looks like inside the Gothic Arch. This is not the easiest thing to show you hidden behind all this scaffolding structure, but I'm now standing in the base of the Gothic Arch, and maybe you can see this looking up underneath our platform. There's a steep slope in the rock there, followed by a vertical drop many feet, and at the bottom it scoops out into this passage which runs right across the floor of the banqueting hall and off down that way from the base of the ladder I've just come up towards the other side of the banqueting hall and through that little rock cut tunnel. And I believe that that has been deliberately created as a watercourse to carry stormwater. So I'm going to climb the ladder now and go up to the platform. I'll show you what it looks like up there. Okay, we're now on the platform at the top of the scaffolding structure in front of the Gothic Arch. I've just climbed up that ladder and I'm leaning out, looking over the edge of the platform at the full length of the banqueting hall, looking in the direction of the road, Mason Street, and the frontage of Williamson's house. There we go. This is the hoist, the first of two hoists that we use, gin wheel, to get all that material in all those buckets up to the surface from both the banqueting hall and the gash and the magnet chamber next door, which we've been excavating. Swung around now and I'm looking at the very top of the gash where it empties out into the banqueting hall. Down you go, all the way to the floor of the gash. And now we're looking at this rock cut channel that runs right across the middle of the floor towards that little rock cut tunnel which leads into the magnet chamber next door. So I'm going to swing round now and show you what it looks like within the Gothic Arch. Here we are. This platform is where all the buckets are brought up, and if I can show it, that's the very peak of the arch. I can't get far enough away to do it justice, but that is the top of the Gothic Arch. Take a walk back inside. I'll try and show you up there in a minute, but first of all, there's this side passage here, which goes all the way up to the surface, about another 15 feet up. And there's the hatch at the top. So this would be where the second hoist would be mounted. All the buckets would be piled up here on this floor, and they'd be hoisted up to the surface and then off into the skip. Quite a process getting every bucket up there. Up above my head is the underside of that big wide staircase in the back room of the wine bins. Some of the stones there look as if they're ready to fall. They've been smashed, which is why we've got that scaffold structure in place just in case. But in fact, they have been quite stable for many years, so we're not expecting anything to drop. I'm going to try and climb in here. This is going to jump around a lot. Right to the back of the Gothic Arch. And as you may be able to see, straight ahead is a rock-cut drainage channel, which is probably original from Williamson's days. An earthenware pipe has been put in it at a later date. That didn't exist in his day. Oh, this is tricky. And if I look round to the right, there's another one. Another drainage channel cut out of the rock, feeding water down into the Gothic Arch. And then round to the left, there's a little brick arch over a small passage. And looking in the back of that passage, it reaches a spot underneath the floor in one of the back rooms of the wine bins. And we can lift some wooden boards there if we want to, and see right through. You could even crawl through if you wanted to. So I'm just going to turn around and look the other way. So there's our Gothic Arch. See if I can get down here without falling. Not easy. There we are. There I am back on the platform, looking out to the end of the Gothic Arch. Lovely feature. And then down along the length of the Banqueting Hall again. So that's a view that not many people get to see.